Welcome to another interesting section on all through Nigeria. Today, I want to talk on a more interesting topic that took me a very long time to arrange the topic. However, I want to talk on what it is like dating a real Nigerian man. I really struggled on how to fit in this topic, but this is the best I could make do of. Maybe my brains are tired. I lost a lot of brain cells. Okay, I want to talk about this topic because what I've come to notice is that most of the people I've been in correspondent with don't know what it's like, dating a real, Nigerian guy. Most of them have been, dating scammers or, people I call Yahoo boys who are only interested in you for your visa or money. So some of you have, encountered or and still, dating Nigerian men. And today I want to share with you what it is like, dating a real Nigerian man. So these are things you need to look out for, or you might observe when you are dating a real Nigerian man. You need to kind of like look at these features microscopically, look carefully, before you say yes I do, because if you make the wrong yes, it may ruin you to the very last of it. So today I want to discuss a certain behavior you would notice when you date a real Nigerian man, as opposed to when you're dating a scammer or a user. These behaviors are certainly true, and as someone who have crossed paths with Nigerian men, or if you're still dating a real Nigerian man, most of you would agree with me. So, what are these behaviors that you need to look out for to know you are with a real Nigerian man, or maybe the person you're with is a real Nigerian man? The first one is uh, he's a godly man. The first part I want us, to know or to talk about is that he's a godly person. I can only tell you from the part of a Christian. So if you're dating a Muslim, or you're dating an atheist, or a Nigerian who subscribes to traditional and ancestral worship, I cannot tell you anything about that. I cannot give information on this. However, I can only talk about what I know now as a Christian. Now, a real Nigerian man as a Christian is godly. Those of you who have dated one, you you later got serious with, or you married, would basically agree with me on this. He goes to church. He's very active in church. He's dedicated to things that have to do with faith, and sometimes he's asking you, when you guys speak, if you had gone to church, especially if it's on a Sunday. You will notice how serious he takes his faith in God and doesn't joke, or compromise with it. He acts just accordingly as he speaks. There's nothing pretentious about it. It's not like what he's saying is different from what he's doing. So he basically practices what he preaches, and as opposed to a pretender. Now, one benefit of dating a godly Nigerian man, because some ladies are dating out there to date Nigerian men just to have fun, sleep with them, enjoy the rest of their lives, and then die off. But I'm talking about these ladies who are really, really looking for a partner who would settle down with them, and have a very good and healthy relationship. One benefit about dating a godly Nigerian man is from the part of transparency to you. You know, it is very, very good to date a Nigerian man that can be accounted for. This is something those of the guys you meet online do not have. You don't have anyone who can account or vouch for them. The truth is, as a devoted Christian in a church, you could actually walk into that church and get clean information about his personality. And this is something very helpful. Now, in case of those of you who are in doubt about the personality of the man you want to marry, you could just, go to the church, especially if he's a worker, and ask questions. You could meet the pastor. They will give you clear and accurate information about this individual. In the summer of 2021, a lady from Germany, a lady did this. She had to travel all the way from Germany to the church that the fiance was attending. She went there unannounced and went to the pastor and was asking question about this man, and they gave her positive answers about this man, and this positive answer cleared her doubt. She wanted to know, can you tell me about this man? Is he married? Has he got kids? Is he a sincere person? Every person she asked, codedly in the church, they all had positive things, to say about this man. And fast forward today, they are happily married and a resident in Germany. So this is something I would always urge you ladies to always look out for, most especially for those of you ladies who are looking to date a Christian man, a man who fears God and is godly. Some of you, you've come to my email, you asking, I want a godly man, and all of this. Very important. Now, a second point you want to know is that he is not lazy. No, no, no. Nigerians generally are smart and hardworking people. Basically, we can do anything that is legally, to put food on the table. And this is one of those things that makes us flourish, even in adversity and difficulty. Our ability to adapt, to situations, new environment is top notch and highly commendable. And that those of you who are with a real Nigerian man or married to one would agree with me on this. You agree that he is not a potato couch. He doesn't just sit down there, daydreaming how he wants to make money, and tell you, build, castle in the air and all of that. You would notice that he's ready to put his hands dirty, get on the floor dirty to put food on his table and to provide for his family and to make life of his family a little bit more comfortable. You will never see him sitting on social media on a dating site all day looking for one Western lady, uh he 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 would deceive, basically. This is very important. Now, another thing you need to know is that he's not on a dating site. Dating sites, of course, has made things easier for a whole lot of individuals. I've always said this. Dating site is something that is super cool. People could just sit at the comfort of their house and connect to people from other part of the world. There are positive news and testimony about people who met on dating site and they ended up getting married and having family. However, most Nigerians do not use dating sites frequently like people in the Western world do. The first reason is this: we don't have unlimited access to data like it is in the Western world. Like, I'm able to release or produce this video because I've got a Wi-Fi in my house. It is not something that everyone has in a Nigerian home. So one, this is data consuming. Secondly, most people don't see the need for it. Why should you go on computer to look for a girlfriend? I'm not saying people don't do it, but majority of Nigerians don't, because one thing you need to understand is that it is not something most people know in Nigeria. When I was living in Nigeria, I didn't know what dating site was. I had no idea that you could go on the dating site to look for a girl. I remember it was like there are hundreds and thousands of girls you meet at church, work, and different functions. So why do you need a dating site, to do all of this? So Nigeria is a very, very social and communal nation or country. It is very easy to meet people and talk to them, and even meet people at different places like churches, work, and different functions. And you could go on from there to start relationship. So for most people, this is something that they do. So the concept of going to dating site to look for a partner is something they don't understand. However, when you come to Nigeria and you tell a Nigerian, or you meet two Nigerians who say, "Oh, we made ourselves on a dating site," it's kind of cringe-worthy. It's not something most people can relate with. I mean, going to meet a Nigerian parent and say, "Oh, how did you meet your wife?" So, "Oh, met on a dating site." Like, what was that? what's a dating site, and stuff like this. Now, this does not mean there ain't good Nigerian guys on dating site. There are some few, but the truth is that most Nigerians, I repeat, most Nigerians who are on dating site, most Nigerians who are on dating site are there looking for the wrong reason. Either they're looking for somebody to take care of them, fund their lifestyle, or they are looking for someone who they would use, to leave the country. They're looking for somebody who would sponsor them out of Nigeria because that is the only hope. Another point I want to talk about is he works or hustle. A real Nigerian man wouldn't be home all day, wasting away or doing nothing. Now, granted, I understand for a very long time there's a huge rate of unemployment going on in Nigeria, more than we have ever witnessed. And a lot of people have been displaced as a result of this. A lot of people don't have, work or, things to do. It has impacted people or individuals negatively. But nonetheless, guys, a real Nigerian man will sit down and expect manna or the government to come to his aid. He will be busy making calls, asking for jobs, placement, sending out or submitting CVs, to companies, or at worst case, when every doors are shut, he would venture into a business. There are a lot of Nigerians young men who have started street business. They start making what we call akara, or what you can call in English to be bean cake. They could venture in this. You see some who are making snacks on the roadside, or you see some who are basically selling secondhand clothes. They are not dependent on anyone. They understand that it is a shame for a grown man to sit at home idle and be unproductive doing nothing. So for this, they rather go out, to hustle, no matter how small it is. This brings pride, it restores pride, the pride of what it means to be a man in the Nigerian society, to know that you are basically hustling, struggling to put food on your table. Now, I got friends who are graduates who finished from the university with excellent grades. They served in Nigeria. At the end of the day, they couldn't find job. Now, they didn't go online to look for one lady in the Western world who could help them escape from Nigeria, or give them food to eat, or all of that. They went to microfinance bank, took loan around $800 equivalent, and started clothing business. And today they are prospering and doing very well in that business. They did not just jump online to look for one, old Western, lady to like tell sweet things so she could start sending money down to Nigeria. This was not the case. And this is sadly not the case when you are dating a real Nigerian man. Another important thing about dating a real Nigerian man is that he knows his what. A real Nigerian man knows his what. Oftentimes it is characterized as being proud, arrogant, or sometimes egocentric, but this is not the case. At early stage in Nigeria, especially when we are quite young, we are raised or we are taught to understand our self-worth. And this enables us to set our standard. That is to say, you cannot treat a Nigerian man, like some kind of a piece of trash, or treat him like he's a nobody because of maybe you think he's coming from Africa or anywhere. No, go and ask around. Go to the whole of Africa and ask about Nigerian men. We were raised with self worth. Our parents raised us to know our worth and not to, take anything that we know is contrary to our self worth. That means no matter what you do, do not disrespect your Nigerian man. Do not bring him to shame, swing at him, curse him, or disrespect him. Because one day, certainly one day, you will see the real Nigerian man in him. You may have a Nigerian man who is calm, in handling situation. Do not take that for granted, as some of you ladies do. Do not take that for granted. He's not weak. It is either he's trying not to lose his cool, because if he does, all hell will be let loose. So that's why sometimes you discover that, oh, your Nigerian man is calm, he's not doing anything. No, he's not doing anything not because he's weak. He understands what he can do when he's hungry. So he's, taming himself not to overreact, because the moment he does, everything will be let loose. Or if you have a Nigerian man who is not reacting, especially when a lot of things are going wrong, that means he's there with you for, all the wrong, basically wrong reason. Maybe he needs your visa, or at the same time, he kind of like wants you to, sponsor his lifestyle. So, be careful what you dish out to a Nigerian man, because when you push a Nigerian man to the wall, he will stand toe to toe and slug it out with you. Bottom line, do not push a Nigerian man to the wall. Don't do that, because he will bounce back and you will seal the real fire in him. Trust me, I know what I'm saying. Another point is, never try to control him. To those of you who have spoken with, or have spoken with me, I always tell you, if you want to stay long and have a peaceful relationship with a Nigerian man, do not try in any way to control him. Like, do not even think of that. Even if you're the CEO of your company, or you work in a place where you are the boss, you're the madam, you're the head, the moment you're with a Nigerian man, strip yourself from that, this general, chief, commander, or staff, and act like a woman. Act like a woman. Act like a partner. Act like a wife. Don't act like some general. Because the truth is, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And this is one mistake some of you ladies you make, is to try to always, control the Nigerian man. You police him, you ask him questions like he's being interrogated, you speak to him anyhow, you tell him what to do, how to do it, you scream at him. Try as much as possible, to avoid all of this at all costs. A real Nigerian man who is not with you for visa or money would not hesitate to leave you if you try to control him or make his life some kind of hell. It doesn't work in our society. I advise you, ladies, when dating a Nigerian man, please try and act like a lady, and he will treat you as one. The moment you start trying to make him, feel like you're the head and he's nothing, that is the beginning of the end of the relationship. Or your marriage, whatever it is, I can assure you that. So avoid trying to command him, talk to him anyhow. There are different ways you could make him do things. You need to understand it. There are different ways you could give him information, and he will be happy to assist you and help you. Don't talk to him like you've gone to Africa to order some maid or some helper. And if that's the case, you would totally have problem. Another point I want to talk about is the butt head period. Now, some of you ladies have come to me to complain of one irregularity or the other. The constant fighting, misunderstanding, and difficulty you're having in your relationship. And some of you are planning to leave. I always tell you no, not to leave, uh, because this butthead phase, as I call it, yes, the butthead phase, it's something you need to understand. First thing you need to get it that you both are coming from different background, you're raised differently in terms of culture, beliefs, and maybe sometimes you have different philosophies. And I always say to you guys, at some stage you would butt heads. You would have a very strong conflict. There will be this period where you are disagreeing and fighting in everything. And I always say to you, it is normal as long as you're both coming from different background. Now, here is one funny thing. The period you're getting to know yourself, going out on dates and all of that, you do not have this. Even when you notice some kind of, abnormalities or behavior, you both brush it outside. However, down the line in the relationship, when the relationship is defined and is going to a particular direction, you start noticing things. You start noting things you maybe were ignorant of. Permit me to say, when things were going better, or you didn't know. and this results to argument, fight, disagreement. And trust me, ladies, this is a very, very delicate stage. It is the make or break stage because one of the best thing that can happen to you, especially to you, Western ladies, I'm talking to you, is to be with a real Nigerian man who tells you how he feels. He doesn't hide his feelings to you. He communicates his discourse, his happiness, and is free with his opinion and ideology with you. As compared to the Nigerian man who you're dating, he's never angry, he has no opinion, you are always right, he's always apologizing to you. He tries to avoid squabbles, quarrel, and anything. If that is the case, you're with the wrong Nigerian man. A true Nigerian man would be very expressive with the way he feels about things. When you do something he doesn't like, he will tell it to you. When you do something he likes, he will tell it to you. You would have this butted period or this butted stage. But one thing I can say to you that if you can both, pull through this stage, that's to say, if you find some kind of a mutual understanding, have a conversation about it, discuss things, and then most importantly, you meet in the middle, you will come out to be more formidable and stronger than you were in the beginning. So that's why I always say to you ladies, when you're in this butted phase, try as much as possible to look for a solution, how you both can work this out, especially when you truly, love this individual. Final point I want to talk about is he has standards. Every serious Nigerian man has standards. And when I mean standard, I mean the set standard for the kind of woman they wish to date and maybe get married to along the line. He's not open to meeting all or any kind of woman just in the sake of, having a woman. No, that's not the case. He's only interested in the woman that meets his standards. His standards could be he wants a Christian lady, he wants a godly lady, he wants a lady who is respectful, a lady who is homely, a lady who is hardworking, a lady who is willing to support, a lady who understands and has sense of touch with reality. So when they are getting to know you and they discover that more or less you fall short of a particular standard, if it's something they believe they can talk to you about and can be worked on, they will point it out to you. But if it's something they think ordinarily you ought to know, he could, just start acting a little bit strange to you. And this strangeness in behavior are cues that he's actually feeding to you to let you know that, okay, I'm not interested. He could basically stop picking your calls like he used to do, taking time to reply to your messages, or seeing you online and ignoring you. So these are cues is basically giving you, saying, look, I'm trying to be polite here. I don't want to meet you and tell you, okay, you're not good enough for me because I don't think it is proper. Hence, I am passing this message to you indirectly, etc. So it is a polite way of saying, sorry, this would not, go on. Now, in conclusion, when you're dating a real Nigerian man, it is not always, sweet like fiction. You're not living in La La Land. It comes with this bittersweet moments. There are times where it is sweet. There are times where you're confused about it. There are times you don't even know where you're heading to. There are times where you you just want to throw in the towel and give up on the relationship. There'll be hard times. There'll be good times. There'll be sweet times. I always say to you, ladies, these are all learning curve, and you need to go through it, especially if you both love yourself. Always understand that sometimes, some things or decision may not go your way. But even then, always try, to adjust how you see certain things. And I always say to you, it doesn't matter where you're coming from. You could be coming from the United States, Canada, Europe, UK, Germany, New Zealand, wherever you're coming from. Don't come with this mindset of superiority when you're dating a Nigerian. Don't bring the superiority mindset like, oh, you're coming from Africa, you don't know a lot. No, you will have problem. Don't come with a superiority mindset. Whenever there is a need to do something, always ask him, how would you have done it? How would you do it? How would you approach it? And let him speak. Let him see that you always are interested in finding out how he would approach situations. And I always say to you ladies, Nigerian men are lovely people. Our society is not the way these scammers have presented it or how they've made it look like internationally. I myself, I hate hearing when you come on news or TV, yeah, oh, Nigerian this, Nigerian that, all on the negative aspect, because I know the way an average Nigerian parent has raised and brought up their children or their child. And to have this kind of a prejudice mindset to think every Nigerian is a scammer, it's heartbreaking because this is a small percentage of the general populace of Nigeria. And I always say to you, ladies, take your time, go with your friend, visit Nigeria, and then you would come back to tell me what you see. As I always say, the true test is always in the pudding. With this, ladies, I would like to say thank you. Thank you very much. And please, as always, again, like, share, subscribe. If you want to comment, comment respectfully. Sorry for this very, very long video. I wish you guys a lovely, lovely weekend. Tomorrow is another Q&A. I got two questions. Maybe if you have more questions, you can write me on Home Truth Nigeria. Then I will answer it. Other than that, Home Truth Nigeria. Peace out.